Hi, it's Pete and Grata here from the Purple House at Forth in northwest Tasmania. Coming again with the Facebook Live on Monday now, isn't it? Used to be Tuesday. I'd just like to start off with a couple of short stories today about a couple of clients. They had really bad skin issues. One in particular, guy who had been scratching himself to pieces for months. He hadn't been able to sleep in his normal bed with his partner because he was keeping her awake for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And he came and saw me, had full health analysis, full health audit, and we discovered that he, quite a few imbalances, but one in particular was discovered there was indicators in his live and dried blood that he was full of Candida, and Candida produced a lot of toxins. And on top of that, his liver wasn't getting rid of the waste properly, so it wasn't getting rid of those toxins. So the body puts those towards the skin and creates massive itchiness under the skin, and he was scratching himself all night. Anyway, a month later, after starting what we call the Ultimate Vitality Boost Pack, which gets the bile flow going out of the liver, the iodine kills off Candida, the good intestinal bacteria are replenished by the probiotic in that and gets Candida under control in the gut. And I also recommend people go low carb, high fat, so start getting most of their fuel, energy from fats instead of sugars, because then you're not feeding Candida, which is a yeast. Anyway, a month later, he was happy as Larry. He was back. The itching had gone. And just recently, I've had another client who, I think it was about 8 months, she's been scratching herself to pieces, and she had sores all over her, just little pustules that would break out, and she'd been on antibiotics to try and improve things. But what happens when our liver can't get rid of the waste, as I said before, it puts that waste out towards the skin. Our skin is classified the third kidney, so it tries to get rid of the waste as well. But when it's put under the skin, it creates ill or sick skin cells. Not a very good environment for our skin cells to live in. So they start getting sick and dying, and then the Staph aureus that lives on our skin goes in a hair follicle and starts cleaning up those dead and dying skin cells and create what we call an infection or a pustule, and then white cells come to do the healing, and it causes little sores or what we call pustules. And she was covered with these and itching like crazy as well, scratching herself to pieces. And a month later,
she was good.
She was good. No itchiness. You could see where she had all the little sores all over her legs and arms, but they were just dark spots now. They were healing. They were healed. They'll take a while for the discoloration to go. But she was over the moon as well. And if you're out there suffering with skin problems, you don't have to. But sometimes there are issues that have been, imbalances that have been created as well due to us not breaking our food down properly, and then those undigested foods go out into the lymphatic system. They get into the bloodstream, they go out into the lymphatic system and cause a real sludge in your lymphatic system, and that creates a lot of waste as well for the liver to get rid of. And if the liver's not getting rid of it again, it stays floating around, causing a toxic environment for our cells to live in.
Yeah,
So I can see all this and discover it in the full health analysis. So you don't need to suffer. Come and see me, and we can get you back to health quickly.
for sure. And also, it doesn't matter how long these issues have been going for. So, Peter and I, we often see clients who've had issues for 10 years or more, right? And it still clears up because your body has the blueprint for perfect health. And it just means that you haven't found the right key yet. So we're talking about Candida here because it's behind pretty much every illness in your body, but you don't even have to be ill and you still have Candida. So you can just be living with things like chronic brain fog, memory loss, random aches and pains, not feeling hungry, just not feeling yourself, feeling out of character, getting triggered easily. There's a whole list of things and it's all in this article. So in the article, please click on it and open it. I have included a Candida self-help test or a questionnaire. Actually, there are two here, so please do both of them. One is a questionnaire, and if you fill out the answers, you give yourself a yes and no answer, and you can prove to yourself if your issues are related to Candida or not, which gives you a lot of clarity. And the second one is another test that you need to read, so it involves your saliva before you go to bed, and do a little test with that. So today you have to be your own doctor, and information is power, because you could be spending years of your life, your precious time and energy, not feeling as good as you could be, because Candida is literally your biochemistry changes and you become a walking laboratory, I say, where you make your own alcohol, because one of the byproducts of Candida is formaldehyde and like other alcoholic type substances that make you feel drowsy or uncoordinated. Children at school can't learn.
I think one of our children was pulled up one time by the police and put on the breathalyzer, and she swears and declares she hadn't been drinking alcohol. But anyway, she was a real sweet tooth and would have been full of Candida, and
at the time.
She tested positive.
Yeah, well, so I think they had to wait for a while, and she did it again, and they proved that it actually wasn't alcohol related, but there was something going on in the blood. So that could be you too.
We also had a therapist who worked for us who, previous lifetime, she was a scientist, laboratory scientist in England, and this was about close to 30 years ago. And she said pretty well every sample of blood they looked at in England 30 years ago had Candida in it. And so they just had to put on diagnosis normal. The authorities said, well, if everyone's got it, it must be normal, but it's normal in the gut. It's not meant to be in our bloodstream. Also, so let me explain that quickly. Everyone has a little bit of Candida in their body, in the gut, but as a yeast. That's right. Yeah. And then when you eat sugar, too much sugar, carbohydrates, or you're stressed, or there's other things that, like whether you take contraceptives or cortisol or things like that, penicillin rather, pretty much everyone causes your Candida to turn into a fungus. So the yeast transforms into a fungus, which is now toxic and hostile to your body. And the fungus grows little spore type, like little hair-like roots, I should say, that drill little holes in your gut, in the gut lining, that causes leaky gut. So you might have heard of leaky gut. There used to be a lot, like leaky gut used to be a big thing in the past, but I'm sure it's just as prevalent now. You just don't hear people talk about it anymore. So leaky gut means that you get anemic, and the little holes in your gut now allow foodstuffs and all sorts of things to go into your bloodstream, including toxins, including Candida, which now the spores of that travel right through your body, and they can set up home in your brain, in your nervous system, really in any area of your body. And what's even worse, I don't really like to talk about it, but I'll mention it anyway. In laboratories, they've proven that Candida, the yeast, turns into a fungus, and the next stage is cancer tumor. So then in a petri dish, it will grow itself into a cancer tumor, which the same thing happens in your body. But in a laboratory, they can reduce the cancer back into fungus, back into normal Candida, so they can work both ways. And your body can do the same for you if you give it the help that it needs. And so Peter and I, we have lots of different ways that we can help you with Candida, so it doesn't have to be as crippling. And it really is classified the #1 killer in the world today.
Candida often goes together with parasites as well.
If you've had thrush, a lot of women get thrush. If you've had thrush, you'll have systemic Candida as well.
Or it's called jock itch in guys.
Yeah, jock itch in guys.
Or any kind of itch really. And so
that's Candida. That's Candida on the outside of the body, but it will go through the gut wall and cause massive problems.
So I just want to probably mention a few serious conditions that people experience, like, well, they are in the post, but like things like migraines, endometriosis, premature aging, like you're just aging way too fast. Like I said, brain fog, you memory loss, numbness, like numbness in your fingers and toes, lethargies, like feeling lethargic, depression.
And if you're relying on sugars for energy, then Candida will be eating that up. That'll be using your energy source.
That's
so your
right.
cells are not getting
and it releases toxins,
Yeah.
so like even problems in your spine, backaches, and of course some of the worst cases are Alzheimer. So when with Alzheimer, the brain develops a kind of a plaque around that is what creates Alzheimer. But there are studies that show that your brain does that to protect itself from Candida. So remove the Candida, the brain can actually release the plaque as well. There are even ways to reverse Alzheimer, like there are studies that have done real lifetime studies where people have been able to recover from Alzheimer as well. So your body can recover from anything. So another really sure sign is puffy eyes. I mean, let's talk about some less serious, like your skin, hair and nails not glowing as much, you're feeling the cold a lot, you have acne, joint pain, just not feeling well. And of course, the tummy ones are classic, like bloating and all the rest. Bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and all that, right?
Years ago, we stocked Synthol as a Candida cleanse. Now, it's a specific combination of good intestinal bacteria, and I didn't realise, but the bacteria in it are spore-forming probiotics, and when we had difficulty getting probiotics from America one time, I researched good probiotics and found out that spore probiotics, which we then stocked from an Australian supplier, heals and seals the gut for 50% better than any other probiotic. So the Synthol, that's why it is really
it's very popular.
Superior product, and it was sold as a Candida cleanse. Yeah.
Also, the immunosymbiotic is very, very good. So this is the one we get from America. Well, sometimes the trouble with our shipments can be irregular. Like since 2020, we have experienced some problems sometimes with our superior products from the US due to whatever, politics or whatever is going on behind the scenes. So we do apologize for any hardship that we have that our clients suffer due to not being able to get their ultimate vitality boost on time. Sometimes things run out of stock, and at the moment we have a few left of all of these, just a few. So if you're listening to this and you and we have more coming, but due to the nature of how things are out in the world, we do apologize. We do try to keep things stocked up.
We actually had a client come back this morning after I'd seen her 2 weeks ago for high cholesterol levels, and I taught her about cholesterol, but she came back and she bought the Ultimate Vitality Boost pack again for her and the husband, because they've both been taking it, and she said she's been feeling amazing, and that's 2 weeks.
That's right.
It turns people's health around. It's turned thousands of people's
because
health
it basically covers the 4 pillars of your health. It's all explained in the free Ultimate Vitality booklet that you can please download from our website, right? Because it's way more in it than we can explain. It would take a couple of hours.
As Grada said, we are running in short supply of the probiotic.
Yeah.
at the moment, but
Because they're so
please,
popular.
please give us a ring.
If you go on the website and you see it's out of stock, please ring us.
Email us or ring us and we'll put your name on the waiting list.
Because we'll have it all back in stock very shortly. I promise. And like I said, I do apologize to our clients. A lot of the time when we run out of stock, it's due to, it's outside our, what do you call it? We can't really help it, right? Because it's outside.
Production problems.
Yeah,
really,
or something.
In the US.
Sometimes the postage goes around the world several times before it actually gets to Tasmania as well. So we've had a lot of problems like that as well. But on the whole, we have thousands of clients who are feeling so much better than ever. So it doesn't matter, like I said, how young you are. This is good for children as well. So if you're a parent watching this, please do the test, the questionnaire for your children as well. There are very simple things that you can do that will absolutely put Candida back in its place where it belongs, right? And it's simple. Back in the days, 20 years ago, it wasn't so simple because we didn't have these superior products. And people had to suffer from leaky gut for years. They just didn't get better, right? But now we have superior products, and we also have ways to heal you with energy medicine. That's what I specialize in. And Peter does it too, by the way. We've both trained in the same pathway all the way through, but of course, because we have completely different brains, Peter is more analytical, and I specialize in energy medicine, which I also use my analytical, practical brain. So together, we have really good results, and we want to help everyone have the best life. So if you recognize any of these problems, or if you just want to give yourself a beautiful treatment, or look under the bonnet of the car and get real answers, please call our friendly team. Or anyway, the number will be on this article, or reach out to us. And our online shop is open, of course, 24/7, 7 days a week. And we're here to open to help you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 to 5. Anything else?
No. Have a good week.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a really great week. Bye for now.